Hello everyone and welcome to the final episode of the Fitzmontegue Mysteries. Our Emerson, she has gone back to Simdelay, but this time in her official capacity as a police officer person. And once again she seems to have been drawn to the garden. So she decides this time just to stall just a little bit, confronting Annette, to look around the garden. And here it is, the final clue that she needed, that she didn't want. A bunny stump in the Simdelay garden. She gathers them all in the lounge in order to tell them what she's found. At first it was Max Rivers, who she suspected, the original accountant and the possible embezzler of all of the Fitzmontegue money. But no, he'd been fired and he'd been in love with Marissa and Olivia. It was not Ryan who did this. And then, of course, Jared, who suddenly managed to build Simdelay up. Certainly, Jared, you are behind, or at least part of the embezzling from the Fitzmontegue vault. But you're not quite murder material, are you, Jared? You wanted the money, but you didn't kill them. But you know who did, don't you, Jared? It was you, Annette. You killed your own sister and her husband. You wanted the Fitzmontegue money to yourself and you weren't willing to wait for Alice. You knew what Alice were up to. And you hid behind it, didn't you? They caught you stealing from the vault. I did not murder my sister. How could you even think such a thing? I know it was you. The money, everything. That's what you wanted and you killed them. I did not kill them. Fine, I'll admit to the money, I'll admit to the embezzling, but I did not kill my own sister. We found your science stuff. We found it in the attic. We know that you're the only one who could have made those bunnies go mad. Science stuff? You found the science stuff. Fine. It was me. I did it. I killed them. And you'll never get me. Never. She tries to escape, but Emerson leaps and attacks her with all of her police training and fisticuffs and exclamation marks and stuff. That's it. You are arrested for the murders of my parents. You will be going to jail for a very long time. Emerson visits her in the prison so she can find out exactly what she did to her parents. It wasn't meant to go down like this. They weren't meant to get hurt. Mother was cruel, you know this. She was always pitting me and Olivia against each other, threatening to drop me out of the will and then her out of the will. I couldn't take it. I knew somewhere there was a load of money. She kept it from us, but one day I found it. I stole the combination from her office. And I snuck in. And I found all her money. But that's not all I found. I found her murder room. But I didn't see it as a problem. I saw it as an opportunity. What would Mother do to keep this secret? So I enlisted Jared's help. He was always so easily convinced. And slowly we began to take all of the money. And then one day, they found me. They'd been looking for some murderers, and they found me. Olivia was disgusted. She threatened she was going to arrest me. But what could she do? What, would she turn her own mother in as well? You couldn't do it, I said. I could see that she was torn. She looked around the room. She was disgusted by everyone. I wonder if I could have turned her around, offered her half the money. Maybe I could have stopped her. But there was Jeff, and he was not going to let any of this go. He was the one who threatened to arrest me. He was the one who pulled out the cuffs. And he was the reason your parents are dead. It was all his fault. If he'd just let me go, if he'd just taken half the money, we could all been happy now. Mother was getting old. She wouldn't have continued doing this, not for long. But he would not let it go. I had no choice. That's when I did it. I ran, and I never looked back. I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of knowing how I did it, but I killed them, and I took the money, and I ran. And that's why I did it. And that's why, for money, yeah, that's it. Throw away the key. Just leave me alone, never come and see me again. And so, still feeling like there is something wrong, something strange about this whole thing, Emerson leaves her there. All of this left them in a bit of a quandary. Alice never left a will, not for anyone. As Annette was in prison, her money went straight to Jasper. As she was the oldest daughter, everyone assumed that Fitzmontegue Hall would go to her, and so would go to Jasper. But Emerson was the oldest next generation, so she was also in for the running of getting it. Not that she wanted it at all. And of course Simdelay was left to Jasper, seeing Jared was also now indisposed. Martin, he was just happy with whatever happened. But they were both still teens, and, as such, under Emerson's care. She decided what would be best was if they moved away, if Simdelay and Fitzmontegue Hall were left in trustees to look after the place, maybe even fix the hall up. And she would take the boys away, somewhere nicer, somewhere more safe, somewhere they could thrive as teens, and just put all this behind them as much as they could. So they sat and they discussed where they would move and what high school they could maybe go to. And so this broken little family prepared to move on with their lives, a more simple life, a safer life, surely, away from Henford, away from everything. And so with Annette's youngest going to stay with Marissa, the three of them packed up their belongings and they left both houses behind. She tries to let it go and move on with her job, with her life, but it just niggles her. Something Annette said, something ringing through her ears. You'd be surprised what a mother would do for her child.